Yeah, let me adjust my camera real quick. Yeah, that should work. That's where we go. Hello, everyone, and welcome into another episode of Matt Sports Talk. And now in this video, we are going to be recapping the Crossroads League Tournament Championship game that happened 2 days ago, this past Saturday, between the number 1 seed, Indiana Wesleyan, and the 2 seed, Mount Vernon Nazarene. And both teams have already locked up automatic bids into the NAIA National Tournament. The Wildcats were the regular season champions, so they received the first automatic bid, and then the Cougars of Mount Vernon Nazarene received the second automatic bid after with being the Crossroads League Tournament champion runners-up, since the Wildcats were the winners of the league championship game. So without further ado, let's dive into that. And it was a 3-0 sweep for the Wildcats, as I just alluded to. Now I'm going to record a separate video and talk about the latest RPI, ARC rankings, and the Massey ratings, as the selection show is just a little under 5 hours away as of this recording at 12:11 p.m. here on Monday afternoon. The selection show is at 5 o'clock tonight, and again, that is Eastern Time, and it is currently 12:11 p.m. Eastern Time. And so, like I said, the selection show a little under 5 hours away now at 5 o'clock Eastern, and I'm recording this at 12:11 as well Eastern Time, because I'm in Mount Vernon, Ohio, so Ohio is in the Eastern Time Zone. And I apologize ahead of time if I keep looking away from the camera, looking outside to our front door as it is open, and I'm got to keep an eye on the mail truck. So I apologize once again if I keep looking frequently away from the camera out the front door, as I'm making sure that I do not miss the mail, and I also have to keep an eye on the dryer as well in the kitchen. But obviously that can wait just a little while longer, so I can do this recap video and then record a separate one talking about the national tournament, which teams I think are on the bubble in terms of the Crossroads League schools, which there are a lot. So there's a lot to uncover, but there's a lot to go over in that separate video. So going back to this video, the Wildcats, a 3-0 sweep of Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats, 3-0 sweep over the Cougars of Mount Vernon Nazarene on Saturday. The set scores were actually pretty close all three times, 25-23, 25-22, and 25-22. And these two teams split on the regular season. The Wildcats had a 3-0 sweep at home back in September. And on the year, the Wildcats now go to 22-1 at home against Mount Vernon Nazarene, compared to 12-4 on the road here in Mount Vernon for the Wildcats. So obviously home court advantage, very, very important there. And for the Wildcats, you know, they beat Mount Vernon at home back in September in the regular season, and then here in Mount Vernon last month, it was the Cougars with a big upset, a 3-0 sweep in that one. But the Wildcats were down a few players due to injuries, so that obviously played a big role in that matchup here last month. And then, of course, the Wildcats avenging that tough loss here a month ago on Saturday. Again, 3-0 sweep by final set scores of 25-23, 25-22, and 25-22 respectively. The Cougars on the match hit 229 in the first set with 4 errors, 333 for the Wildcats in the first set with 4 errors, so pretty even there. The second set was a whole nother ball game. The Cougars hit just 146 with 4 errors. The Wildcats 159. The Wildcats had 9 errors just in the second set alone in that match up on Saturday. So again, the second set was just kind of I don't want to say a bad performance by the Wildcats, but it obviously wasn't the greatest either. And then in the third set, the Wildcats did a lot better in terms of hitting percentage. They hit 286 compared to 200 for the Cougars. Now, for the Wildcats, they had 8 errors in the third set, and Mount Vernon only had 3 errors, but Mount Vernon only hit 200. The Wildcats hit 286, so that was kind of tells you all you need to know there. Looking at the stats for the Wildcats, you have Morgan Schlebach. It did really good, 10 kills on the match with 6 digs. You also had Reagan Nuss with 5 kills and 14 digs, so really, really amazing to see that. Nuss also had 24 assists. Faith Maloney, 5 kills and 4 digs. Jalen Tang with 12 digs. You had Grace Pratt with a dig. Eliana Morgan with a dig. Libby Evanshine with 8 kills on the match with 1 dig, and then freshman outside hitter Canal Winchester, John Bloom Carroll High School, Evelyn Brown, 7 kills and 2 digs for her. MVNU as a team hit just 194 in the match compared to 258 for the Wildcats. So obviously that again tells the story there. And then looking at the stats for the Wildcats, you had Kamaya Murray with 1 kill and 14 digs. She also had 3 assists. Abigail Porter, 41 assists and 9 digs. Katie Nodder with 3 assists and 23 digs. Shay Williams had a really good performance as a freshman, I might add. She had 11 kills with 3 digs. And Marissa Mullins, 9 kills, and one of which was the game-ending one in the 3rd set. So really amazing to see that out of a senior from Circleville, Ohio. Marin Sanchez really stepped up big for the Wildcats. 13 kills for her on a .276 hitting percentage. She had 1 dig. You had Jessica Ickes with 4 kills and 1 dig. You also had Autumn Kohlauer getting some playing time with 1 dig. And Yessie Louise with 11 digs on the match and 2 assists. And then Ava Geroldsma was the star player. Really no surprise here for the Wildcats. She had 16 kills, 9 digs on the match, and hit .333 just herself. So really, really amazing numbers there. That is for sure, and that was your match up there. And obviously, the selection show and that concludes recapping the championship round. Again, the selection show is coming up this evening at 5 o'clock, and I'll record a separate video talking all about that here momentarily. So looking at at least in terms of the standings, you have the Wildcats going into the national tournament 27-4. They are on a 7-game winning streak. MVNU 25-8 going into the national tournament. MVNU 11-2 at home this year, so really, really amazing to see that. And of course, Mount Vernon's only home losses coming to Marion in the regular season, and then Bethel to start off conference play. And then Huntington 24-8. Taylor 20-11, Spring Arbor 23-10, Marion 18-11, and those last four teams I mentioned, Huntington, Taylor, Spring Arbor, Marion, all on the bubble for the national tournament. Bethel ends their year 16-16, Grace 15-16. Grace might have a chance at the NCAA tournament, I might add. And then Goshen ended their year 7-24, St. Francis 4-26. That is for sure, and that is going to be the updated view of the standings in terms of Crossroads League competition. So really amazing to see that. And while I'm on here, I'm going to try to get the updated volleyball things going here to at least get set for that. And on the volleyball thing, we need the ARC and RPI. And then obviously I can open up a new tab for the updated Massey rating. And then okay, so I'm obviously working to get the updated, or get my pages up on my iPad, because just so I'm ready to go for the next video. And okay, all right, so we're good to go there. So again, thank you so much for tuning into this video, and if it was super helpful to you, please either like, comment, or subscribe to my channel. Any one of those options helps me out greatly. I appreciate any feedback that you provide me. And by the way, if you are brand new to my channel, please subscribe. And for those of you that have been recently subscribing, I really appreciate that, and it means a lot to me for any feedback that you provide. And please keep subscribing to my channel. My goal is to hit 500 subscribers by February 21st, 2026, which is the end of the regular season for Crossroads League men's and women's basketball, which I will be starting daily game recaps of that coming up on Thursday of this week, recapping all the games from Wednesday night. So I'm really looking forward to that, and it's going to be a great season. And now for those videos, I will be, for all the men's and women's recap videos this year, I'm going to be posting them on Matt's Sports Talk Season 2 playlist here on my YouTube channel. So you can also, maybe if you're brand new to my channel, you can find those videos a little bit easier on that playlist. So thanks so much for tuning into this video. Have a great rest of your day, and God bless.